Good morning, everybody. This is Vale Anoa'i. Normally, whenever I post a video to this YouTube channel, it's about my art, my paintings, but today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to do a reading from one of my books, my very first book that I ever published, Reflections from the Other World, The Complete Poems of Scarlet Vane. Scarlet Vane is one of my very old aliases, a pen name, if you will. These poems are from 2000 to 2007, so it's 7 years worth of poetry in this book. First, I'm going to read the author's note, then I'm going to randomly page through the book, and I'm going to, wherever my finger stops, that's the poem I'm going to read. I'll do at least 5, just to give you an idea of where my mind was from the year 2000 to 2007. So first, the author's note. Poetry to me has always been a very crucial part of my life. I was blessed with an exceptionally fertile imagination and used it incessantly from very early childhood on. Since I was about 8 years old, I have had an especially profound love for reading and writing, both poetry and stories. Over the years, I filled dozens upon dozens of notebooks with stories and poems, and to finally have an actual published book of poetry is a dream come true for me. As of the time of this writing, 20 minutes after midnight on March 15th, 2007, I have 2 novels in the works as well. So keep an eye out. Hopefully someday you'll have an entire shelf in your library full of my books. Thank you so much for reading my book and taking a dive into the ocean that is my subconscious. I hope it changes and inspires you in some way. So now, drum roll please, because we are going to pick a poem at random, and that's going to be the one I read first. Ooh, Wildwood. This one is about Wildwood, New Jersey, and an amazing summer I spent on that boardwalk every week. So let's get cracking. Wildwood. I never thought that pressing play would have caused all of this. Memories of a time long past gently ensnare my soul. My heart swells with longing. I miss it so much. All of the fun and excitement seems real for a moment. The music gives it life. The music takes me there. I fly on wings of elation, breaching the boundary of time, feeling the joy and visions wash over me, my fondest memories. I smile and reminisce. I feel the bright sunlight blazing uninvited into my eyes, made bearable by the salty sea breeze. I taste the warm, sultry aromas of the greasy food being sold along the endless boardwalk. I see each little store, the customizable clothing shops, the overwhelmingly sweet fudge shops, the African artifacts sold full of indescribable wonders. I see myself lying on the motel's couch bed, laughing, so young, full of life and nameless fleeting lovers. I listen to the music. It fills me and caresses my deepest emotions. I am waiting to return to my beloved boardwalk once again. This time the sun is setting. Neon lights bring the darkness to life, glowing like beacons of holiness among evil. I stalk through the boardwalk's immense crowds of people like a wolf on the prowl. I smile, sizing up each handsome man, and knowing that they will all be lining up soon at the convention center for the big wrestling show tonight. But I have places to go, stores to visit, and a huge amusement park at the far end of the boardwalk that hungers for my presence. Dracula's castle and the mosh pit wait for me with open doors. Tram cars drone out their monotonous warnings. Musicians sit against buildings and fill the world with their varied sounds. I sigh happily. I feel so alive here. The time draws near for the autograph session to close, so I skip happily to the stretch of tables filled with professional wrestling legends that just happen to be my father, brother, and some family friends. I'm wearing my shiny violet-blue vinyl jacket with zip-up sleeves and new tight little black dress from the mosh pit, and getting plenty of attention in it. I sell more tickets that way. Wrestling fans are very direct. The show begins, the show ends, now we're back in the motel. I gaze at my new posters, picturing them on my bedroom walls. John Bon Jovi, Gene Simmons, and Sebastian Bach watching me sleep. I listen to the music. The electrical waves slowly drag me back to now. As I look back at that wonderful time, I smile and begin to cry again. A deep stirring in my heart brings back all the joy and adventure in that place. The music brings it all back to me, makes it real. My soul is there. My heart and spirit still dance among the neon lights and ocean waves. But as I return to myself, I feel sad and empty. I sigh. The same old room, the same old house. I see the vintage posters from the boardwalk grace my bedroom walls with their presence. Perhaps the music will take me there again. I hear it in my dreams, and I am there once again, hearing the same divine, endless music, the music of a lost decade, the romance, the power, the energy, the stories. The music takes me there. Let's stop the hands of time. I want to spend the rest of my life in one moment. Let me spend eternity in the dream of the boardwalk in all of its splendor. I want the cheap motel room, the sights, the sounds, the people, the stores, the fudge, the amusement park, the convention center, the long walks, the beach, the mall, the arcades, the vintage photograph stand, the monster truck in the sand, the tram cars, the mosh pit, the adventure, the exhaustion, the excitement, the memories, the music. So that was Wildwood. Let's get to poem number 2. Okay. This is section 4, poems about death and the afterlife. This one's called Abortion. Now, I have never had an abortion. I've never been pregnant. It's never happened. But the poem came to me one day, and it was kind of creepy, kind of awful, but you never know what's going to pop up into my brain at any given time. Matter of fact, there's a disclaimer to this section. Every poet at some time or another has lost someone they cared deeply about or contemplated what the afterlife will be like. Why should I be any different? Some of these are true. Some, such as abortion, are just my take on what other people must have gone through in their experiences with death. Also, some of these aren't about literal death, but the figurative death of dreams and passions. So with that disclaimer out of the way, here is abortion. Stop staring at me, you who have no eyes to see. Leave me be, my hideous creation. I hate you. Stop following me, you who have no legs to run. You are my sin, my only mistake, but I love you. I killed you trying to set you free. Stop haunting me. What's done is done. That's it. It was a short one. Let's continue on and do poem number 3. Wow. These are some dark poems here. This one's called The Suicide. All the pain that was bottled up inside has escaped. She stands upon the edge of everything, overcome with silent emotion. Dressed in a black wedding dress, she clutches 13 dying roses in her trembling hands. Her red-rimmed, glassy eyes shine in the light of 1,000 stars. Tears of joy, tears of remembrance, or tears for what lies ahead. Sometimes she cries, I'll show them all. 5 minutes to impact. The ground looks so close, but it's so very far away. Below, beneath, unseen. 3 minutes to impact. The water looks so clear and shimmering iridescent blue, but it's so very far, very black and deep and murky. 2 minutes to impact. The last tear flows slowly down her pallid cheek. The fall looks so short, but it's really so very long, so long. 1 minute to impact. 1 minute left to suffer. 60 painful seconds slip slowly by. 1,000 agonizing memories cut deeply into her heart, throat, wrists. Pain flows slowly down in heavy streams, crimson red, flowing like the black water beneath that cursed bridge. 2 minutes past impact, but nothing's changed. There's no tunnel of holy white light, no choirs of singing angels, no legions of screaming devils, no pearly gates of heaven or burning gates of hell. All that remains is the pain that refuses to go away. Now she has no escape. The pain that she despised, tried to escape through death, is hers for eternity. Death is not an escape. Like the alluring Venus flytrap, death is her final snare. Dying was not as glamorous as she thought. Suicide was not the answer, after all. So let's hope the next poem is not from that particularly depressing section. And it is... What do they see? This is an interesting one. I often wonder what others think when they see me, what they really see when they look at me. Are my own perceptions so distorted from the true reality that I see myself differently than others do? I look at myself from behind the glass of the bathroom mirror, analyzing, judging, criticizing. I look at myself from the surface of the lake's still water, searching, admiring, reflecting. I look at myself from behind your shining pale green eyes, seeking, understanding, dreaming. I look at myself from the smooth, concave face of a sterling silver spoon, observing, gazing, playing. I look at myself from inside the red glass Christmas ball, remembering, wondering, praying. What I see, is it really what they see? Let's do another one. The violet flower. Look across the crushed earth, a dying wasteland of metal and stone. Warm rain reflects destroyed beauty through scattered glass, a single violet flower bravely fighting for the kiss of sunlight amidst the shadows of skyscrapers. It chokes on darkly polluted air, refusing to shrivel and die like all the rest of its kind. But just as the clouded sun turns its face to it, a man in a black suit crushes the violet flower under his heavy black boot. Let's see what's next. Well, the sad things. Of all the sad things that this world contains, like pestilence, starvation, greed, and hate, the somber knowledge that nothing remains, not getting access into heaven's gate, and spending your eternity alone, these all seem trivial compared to this. A wasted life, a sin you can't atone. A passionless existence holds no bliss. No, nothing seems as sad as wasted dreams, which torture, tame, and kill the human soul. You realize that this world's not what it seems, that things won't be the way that you had foretold. So don't ignore your passions, set them free. Without your dreams, how awful would life be? I'll do maybe two more. Look, I don't know why my fingers are finding all these really depressing poems, but they're not all like this. They're not all like this. For example, Angel with Steel-Tipped Wings. She's on the prowl tonight, my friend's sweet little sister, looking like a fallen angel, tempting with the devil's charms, staring like a predator with those dark and smoldering eyes, a blushing scarlet... A blushing scarlet blossom peeking out from dangerous thorns. If you play with her fire, you know you'll get burned. That innocent smile makes her face seem like a liar. She could make a meal out of you and love you black and blue, but she's a good girl underneath the lace and leather, seductress with a heart of gold, pure, gentle, and untainted. Just be careful. She's an angel with steel-tipped wings. Let us see. Last one. Because this video is getting kind of long and I'm losing my wording, tripping over my tongue. On growing old. The sweet, seductive, lusty, vibrant red that made the roses famous turns to gray. Intoxicating fragrance long since dead, for all things beautiful must fade away. A youthful starry eye will lose its glow as life and time destroys its innocence. Young love-infected heartbeats age and slow, and even diamonds lose their radiance. A woman who today seems glorious will age and wrinkle by tomorrow morn. Each passing day makes death victorious, for we begin to die the day we're born. So treasure life, it comes and goes so fast, like nature's gold, true beauty doesn't last. I hadn't realized just what a dark place I was in those years between 2000 and 2007. But hey, maybe I'll give you one more bonus one. One that's not quite so depressing. Let's see, what can I find that's not so depressing? This is a cool one. There's a lot of them here, a lot of poems. But I think we need a fun one. We need one to end on a kind of a happy note. This one's called The Pirate and the Time Machine. A high adventure on the 7 seas was all that he expected on this trip, but Pirate Captain fell down to his knees. A time machine appeared upon his ship. Out stepped a learned doctor with a grin, and Pirate Captain knew not what to do. "Give it a try," he said. "Go on, step in, and it will show you things you never knew." So Pirate Captain asked the doctor this: "What be that odd contraption on my deck?" The doctor answered, "Are there souls you miss? With this contraption, you can save their neck." "Go back in time, my friend, and save your crew," the learned doctor answered with a smile, "and then return to now. That's all you do." The Pirate Captain stared on in denial. The learned doctor forced him in the door and leaped inside before it locked itself. His elbow hit the opposite of before, and to the future they sped off in stealth. The Pirate Captain opened up the door and found himself upon a crowded street. Abound was every kind of thief and whore, scoundrels and liars everywhere to meet. Now pirates rule the world? The captain asked. The learned doctor had a look of fright. I suddenly recalled I have a task. The learned doctor vanished in the night. The pirate captain walked away in glee, for this was life as it was meant to be. So I hope you enjoyed some of these rather dark, rather forbidding, but also at least one fun one. Reflections from the Other World. You can buy it on my book website, which it's got a really long URL and I don't feel like reading it out right now, but I will include the description. In the description, I will include the link where you can purchase this and all of my books. So have a great day, everybody. Sorry to depress you while we're all stuck in quarantine isolation, but that's the nature of poetry. See you next time.